Okay, you guys, this video is for you. Don't share it because I'm making a whole, this is going to be a part of a whole spine course. I know I did this darn video. I don't know where it is, so I'm doing it again. And sorry it took me so long to do it, but you just have no idea, you know, when I crank the hours I do to get the private time to even do the videos. But anyway, so from where, let's see here. When we're looking at the spine, there's a lot of things that happen, but people think of the spine as a whole. I don't. It's a bunch of bones put together that look like one unit, but each one needs to be its own individual unit, right? And this is where, too, I'm getting in some new props to show. So every unit, right, no matter where you're at, first of all, adjust on a vertical, unless you're looking at it through here. It could be horizontal as a vertical, right? As it cushions between the cartilage, etc. So as I adjust my leg, I'm walking and all of those kind of things. And this is the stuff that both the boys are not doing. And this is where I want to attack, right? So they're not adjusting, right? And that's where we get the stability throughout. Now, if I go to lift my arm and so forth, this rib comes in, and we'll also apply a gravitational pressure from each side. So now each vertebrae is moving and adjusting this way, but also in an all-axis point. So you almost want to look at the vertebrae as a ball in a sense, where we again think of gravity as going down, but that movement, so if I adjust my hip, right, each one of these vertebrae, so this is where the body's just fascinating to me, the millions of calculations that are doing it. So to take a milestone and just look at it is a straight this or this is just ridiculous to me. Now, I get it when a child is just naturally learning. We're not thinking of the process, but when they're not naturally learning, to think about all these processes are a lot. So just even constipation and the way it can jam, and that's why I did the course, these vertebrae up, is just amazing. If the child is not eliminating, you know, this tailbone is like a trap door. And it wants to come in and it opens and it relieves, right? At the same time, that pressure, the way that the sit bones have to change to allow that to happen. So when a child's got a tucked pelvis, you're going to have a different articulation of even the process of just eliminating versus, and again, to speak. How this is almost like a tongue, and if your coccyx does not move, fine motor skills, you're not going to have the same dichotomy within the human body. So, a real simple lesson to do. Almost again like if I was tuning a piano or playing a type of weird instrument. You don't have to know where everything is, right? But what I'm thinking of is when I'm doing this, it's sort of like I rotate down, but I want to go into that rib cage because my stress point, do you see what I'm working on? So the touch through here, the touch through here. So do you see how, again, if I were to concentrate, so what I want to do is to make all the vertebrae, first of all, be able to adjust to the left and to the right, right? So I'm coming in, and you can approximate. Now, again, if it's harder for your child, if it's scoliosis, you're going to adjust. But, you know, another way of doing this is, and I don't normally work right on the spine, but that divot point next to the spine, you're really going to come in here and push in is one way of doing it. You can do it from an elbow torque, right? If your child were to come, look at me, you know, this is where I play with the human body to get what I want out of that area in relationship to what the rest of the system is doing. If I'm coming in with the iliac, right, my intentions is to get this spine to tilt. And I get it. This is where I'm buying different bones and stuff to show how to do it, because he's got to stick up his butt. So, you know, my intention again is to do all of this. So a seesaw is one way of looking at it, and that would be on a correct link. But if I suddenly had scoliosis or I was turning, right, my seesaw has to adjust. So if I take, in a sense, these are my vertebrae and the processes, right? When I'm moving, right, it reminds me of an old Viking ship where they're just stroke. And again, there's the symmetry. And this is where some people think that this biotens gredi stuff is where to go, but it's not, because each little bit of vertebrae, or I can have a pinched nerve, right? And I'm getting just that. I could have had a surgery or a fusion. Do you know what I mean? And now this is my locomotion that I'm getting versus this. So right now our touch is, we want to get that up and down first from a side to side, and then we want to be able to do it where that up and down can handle within a contraction or an active passive phase. So see how my active phase is the narrowing here, where my passive is where I can release, right? You're not getting that. That's when I say, oh, spine's not crossing midline, right? Because I see more of this happening. I'm not seeing these kind of movements within the spine, and this is what's hanging up the crawling, right? It's getting there. So that's where I would be working right now. Real simple stuff. And again, you want to sit there and engage vision. And there I am to the side. Hi, sweetheart, how you doing? That's where I let the kids grab my hair and do all that kind of stuff. But I'm at it. And that's where I get the gold. People think I'm just messing around, but this is where you really get that lower back to kick in. You're going to want to do that through the whole spine, but I would start with that kind of concept within your touch within the spine. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.